This story shows a future world where a spaceship is specially designed for mining in space. The spaceship is supposed to reach its destination in 4 years and 2 months. All the people on board are in a deep sleep. Suddenly, a large number of asteroids crash into the spaceship, damaging a major part of it. The pods, where people are sleeping, automatically launch from the spaceship. The ship's AI system realizes that the spaceship will soon explode, so it launches the pods toward a nearby planet. Inside one of these pods is a man named Andy. When the pods enter the planet's atmosphere, many of them start exploding one by one. Somehow, Andy survives, but his pod crashes onto the planet. Andy is in terrible condition and feels weak because he had been in deep sleep for many years. He starts having blurry visions of his family, but soon gathers his strength and steps out of the pod. Outside, he notices that their spaceship has also crashed on the same planet. He realizes this is not the planet they were originally traveling to. Andy walks toward the crash site of the spaceship and finds another pod, but sadly the person inside is dead. Andy tries to take the oxygen tank from the pod, but it's completely damaged. He also sees bloodstains and footprints of some unknown creature, making him think there could be dangerous animals on this planet. As Andy continues walking, he sees some lights in the distance and realizes someone might be there. Just then, another survivor named Dwayne appears. Like Andy, Dwayne also managed to survive. Dwayne tells Andy that he has collected some supplies from the spaceship and built a shelter. He explains that the company tried to save fuel by taking a shortcut, which led them into an asteroid field, causing the accident. Dwayne has created a device to send a message back to Earth, but it will take 8 months for the message to reach, and another 2 years for the rescue team to arrive. This means they need to survive on the planet for 2 years and 8 months. Andy becomes scared, saying they can't survive that long without oxygen. Dwayne reassures him that the back part of the spaceship is still intact and has plenty of food stored. Suddenly, Andy accidentally unplugs a machine. While trying to fix it, a huge creature grabs Dwayne and takes him away. When Andy looks up, he doesn't see Dwayne anywhere. Confused and scared, he picks up gun and sends the message to Earth, just as Dwayne told him to. Andy then decides to move toward the other part of the spaceship, knowing that his survival depends on reaching it before it's too late. Andy begins walking over a hill, but the AI system in his suit starts to malfunction and stop working. Frustrated, he shouts out, and just then, he hears the voice of another survivor, Naomi, on the radio. Naomi shares her location, which is several miles away from Andy. However, Andy's suit doesn't have enough oxygen for him to go to Naomi first, and then head to the other part of the spaceship, where oxygen and food supplies are stored. Because of this, Andy initially refuses to go to Naomi. Naomi reassures him that her pod has enough oxygen to support both of them until they can reach the spaceship. Eventually, Andy agrees and starts walking toward Naomi, even though his AI system advises against it. As he walks, night falls. Andy asks his suit to scan the area, but the malfunctioning suit fails, forcing him to move cautiously. Andy begins to sense that someone or something is nearby. At first, he thinks it's just his imagination, like the false visions he's been having of his family. As he walks further, he notices small holes in the ground. Following the holes, he comes across a large pit covered in what looks like webs. Andy realizes this planet has a giant, dangerous creature living on it. Panicked, he runs away but hears the creature roaring. He turns off his light and hides in a spot. Using his suit to scan the area, he sees several of his teammates approaching him. However, no one is communicating with him on the radio. Confused, Andy fires a flare gun and sees the enormous creature. He realizes the creature has eaten his teammates. The trackers inside their suits are in the creature's stomach, which is why it seemed like they were nearby. The creature attacks Andy and he runs for his life, falling into a crack in the ground. The creature chases him and Andy sprints to escape. Eventually, he falls from a rock ledge and his suit starts to leak. Somehow, Andy manages to fix his suit just in time. He realizes the creature can easily spot him in the light. Suddenly, Andy hears Dwayne's voice on the radio. Dwayne, who was taken by the creature earlier, says he's fighting it and needs Andy's help. Andy, exhausted and unable to climb another hill, hesitates. Naomi encourages him through the radio, saying, "You have to do this. If we save Dwayne, our chances of survival will be much higher." Motivated by her words, Andy climbs the hill to save Dwayne. At the top, Andy sees Dwayne surrounded by 2 creatures, fighting them off with a flare gun. Andy arrives, but his presence distracts Dwayne, and one of the creatures kills him. Now the terrifying creatures turn toward Andy. At that moment, Naomi uses her AI system to turn on all the lights on the pods in the area. The creatures get distracted by the lights and head toward the pods, giving Andy a chance to escape. Andy stumbles upon a strange, beautiful place filled with fireflies. The glowing fireflies land on his suit, and at first, Andy enjoys the sight, but soon he realizes the fireflies are damaging his suit. They start to crawl inside, threatening to kill him. Andy quickly tries to brush off the fireflies and escape, but suddenly, a monster grabs his leg from underground and starts pulling him into its mouth. Andy's heart begins to stop, but his suit's AI system detects this and delivers an electric shock to revive him. The shock also hurts the monster, causing it to spit Andy out and throw him away. The monster chases Andy again, forcing him to take shelter in a cave. Unfortunately, the cave is home to more fireflies, which begin damaging his SUV and trying to get inside to kill him. Andy has no choice but to leave the cave. His suit's AI warns him that his oxygen is running out fast, and he must reach the other part of the spaceship to survive. But if he goes to help Naomi, it will likely cost him his life. Andy tells Naomi this, and she says, "It's okay, just go to the spaceship." However, Andy knows that if he doesn't save Naomi, she will die because she's trapped in her pod and can't escape. Ignoring the danger, Andy heads toward Naomi's pod and reaches it quickly. Naomi manages to open the pod door, and Andy sees her leg is stuck. Using tools, he frees Naomi's leg. Exhausted, they both take a moment to rest and agree that they need to reach the other part of the spaceship as quickly as possible because it's their only hope for survival. As they step outside, they find themselves surrounded by creatures. The monsters begin chasing them, but they manage to run and reach the spaceship's other section. Inside, they discover that the spaceship door isn't closing properly, and the creatures are getting closer. Both of them realize they might not make it out alive. Just in time, Naomi manages to fix the door and seal it shut. Inside the spaceship, there's enough oxygen to keep them alive for a few months. However, they soon realize that some creatures have already made it inside the spaceship and are hunting them. They seal themselves inside a room, but the creatures outside are trying to break in. Feeling hopeless, Andy and Naomi prepare for the worst. Before what seems like their final moments, Andy shares a video of his family with Naomi and confesses that a mistake he made caused a car accident that killed his family. Although he survived, the guilt has been haunting him ever since. Naomi comforts him, saying, "You're a good person. You saved my life. If you weren't, you wouldn't have come for me. What happened in the past was an accident." They both become emotional and hug each other. Just then, a creature breaks through the door. Naomi notices that some fireflies are still stuck to Andy's suit. She grabs them and throws them at the creature. The fireflies attack the monster, giving Andy and Naomi a chance to escape. Seizing the opportunity, they run for their lives. The spaceship is massive, and there's a deep pit in front of them, leading to the lower part of the ship. The creature is chasing them, getting closer every second. Both Andy and Naomi decide to jump down into the pit to escape. The creature follows them. Naomi distracts the creature by making it chase her and yells to Andy, "Do something quickly, or we won't survive." Andy climbs to the upper level of the spaceship where there's a pod. Using the pod's AI system, he turns off all the lights in the spaceship. In the darkness, Naomi hides and waits for Andy's signal. Andy tells Naomi, "Lead the creature directly under the pod. I'll drop it from above." Naomi does exactly that. She attaches several lights to herself and starts running to draw the creature's attention. The creature chases after her. Once the creature is directly below the pod, Andy releases it from above. The heavy pod crashes down and kills the creature. However, in the process, Andy gets injured and seems to lose his life. Naomi is heartbroken, thinking Andy sacrificed himself to save her. But then, to her surprise, she notices Andy is still alive. He had only passed out and regains consciousness shortly after. Naomi is overjoyed to see him alive. Now both of them are safe. They know they can survive for several months in the spaceship until a rescue team from Earth arrives. They hold on to hope that help is on the way, and the movie ends here. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to give the video a like.